What's up, everybody? Mel here, and today on Vale Craftworks, we're going to discuss terrain. Specifically, we're going to discuss where I get my influences when I want to build terrain. Now, not everything when I build it is obviously something that I come up with entirely without inspiration. Sometimes I draw inspiration from tabletop RPGs or Warhammer, for instance. Other times it's from things I've seen on the internet. Other crafters make something and I decide, hey, I want to try that. That looks pretty cool. Now, be honest, I get a lot of inspiration, and I got a lot of inspiration from channels like Black Magic Craft and a few other places. But that's just kind of how it happens. Lately, though, and more specifically, I've been playing a lot of games because, with that global pandemic thing going on, I have a lot more time to play games. And I've been a video gamer for as long as I can remember. I mean, I started in the 80s and pretty much never stopped. Now, that being said, when I started doing terrain earlier over the summer, I started with some regular tabletop houses that you might find in any village setting, and the way I built them primarily could be fantasy, but could also lend yourself to early, European and such like that. However, some of the next pieces I built were more scattered terrain bits, and these were what I called monoliths. And I built 3 different ones. Well, 2 that were definitely monoliths, and 1 that was more like a floating crystal, which I actually drew the idea from actually twofold in 2 different video games. One was from the Gates of Encourage, which is a raid in World of Warcraft, and the other portion of that came from Destiny 2. Now, you might be saying to yourself, I'm surprised. There's a lot of Destiny 2 going on in the video that I see on the screen, and you're absolutely right. But if you take a look at what I'm looking at here, most of it is the scenery and the level designs, or really just the layout of different aspects of the game in Destiny 2. Now, I start off on the moon, in the outskirts of the Scarlet Keep, and you'll see the different types of hive architecture that I'm looking at here. Now, in the next portion of this, in the next few portions, you'll see me visiting Europa and looking at some of the architecture that exists on Europa, which is brought by the pyramid ships. I'm not going to ruin any of the story in case some of you follow it and haven't gotten to play the new expansion. Other portions of this would be in the European Dead Zone, and there's another portion I filmed in the Dreaming City. All of these have unique architecture designed for those specific areas, and there's a lot of different races, a lot of different cultures going on in each of those areas where you can see unique architecture and really unique terrain. A lot of that is something that I've really come to appreciate and things that I'd like to work into, at least inspirationally, in some of the upcoming pieces of scattered terrain that I plan on working on, as far as design elements go, aspects that I like, different paint, schemes and such like that. Especially given the fact that I like to play undead factions in all of my war games, and I kind of like to build and paint things that kind of go along those vibes as well in terms of miniatures, whether they're for Warhammer or for a tabletop RPG campaign. Regardless, I just like what I like. And it's something that I really want to kind of explore more. But as I know a lot of you are also into maybe building terrain or thinking about terrain, I wanted to give you at least an avenue of different inspiration to look at. Which, like I said, video games are really awesome for that. Whether you like anime-inspired video games or, medieval or fantasy or high science fiction, or even whatever Destiny is, which is a weird combination of sci-fi, fantasy, and really kind of magical powers. The lore in it's really great. At least for my appreciation, I should say. But that's a little bit of an insight into my thought processes and things I'm looking forward to really adding into this whole crafting world that I'm delving deeper into. And I've really been looking for inspiration. And I think this should give you an idea of where I'm heading in terms of some of the projects that you might be seeing in the next couple of months coming out of this channel. Also, you can expect to find some more Dungeons & Dragons, some Warhammer 40k, and Age of Sigmar projects as well. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking time out of your day to spend with me here on this channel. I really appreciate all of the views and all of the support I've gotten lately. It really means a lot, and I hope to be able to provide some extra good content for you coming up in the months to come. That being said, if you like what I do here, please hit that like button. Of course, you can always hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. And feel free to follow me on social media. All the information will be in the links down below. Once again, thank you so much. As always, I really appreciate your time. Stay safe, stay well, and of course, I'll see you around. Mel out.